So here we are, 20 years later. I started the gallery 20 years ago, and yep, it's been quite the journey. Obviously, a lot of things have changed in that time, and the exhibition you see today celebrates our 20th year. One of the exhibitions that celebrates the programs that we're putting together for our gallery's 20th anniversary. So what does that mean? I think in bringing together this group of artists, we really wanted to bring together artists who had worked with us over the years, some of whom we still represent and we've been representing for many, many years, and some of whom we don't represent back because we have had a good working relationship with them in the past, and they've had seminal exhibitions with us. The exhibition focuses obviously on Malaysian contemporary artists. Over the course of the 20 years, we have worked with international artists as well, but we wanted this particular exhibition to focus on where the gallery started, and that was really in the promotion and giving a platform and a voice to Malaysian artists. So obviously over the last 20 years, the gallery has grown. I have grown as a person, and I think in tandem with that, the times have changed in Malaysia, and evidently with each year we were evolving as a gallery. I mean, I always talk about the development of artists' careers and how artists should grow and get out their comfort zones and evolve. And I think similarly, in many ways, the gallery has done that. I mean, it's important, I think, to continue to take risks, to try things, to move out beyond what you've become contented with, and to strive for new things, to achieve or to aim for the unattainable. And I think a lot of that comes, people have asked me what has driven you to do that, and a lot of it has been my conviction, my absolute conviction and belief in the people that I work with. And these are the artists, Malaysian artists that I've worked with, who have started with me as young artists, and over time, now 20 years later, they've become established artists. And it's just so inspiring for me to look back at their careers and to look back at their journeys, to see how their works and they have evolved and how they have grown as people, and how I think in many ways this has helped to shape the contemporary Malaysian art scene. I think a lot of the artists who are working with us today are artists who have been allowed or have been given the freedom to express and to say the things that they want to do, regardless of whether these works or the works that they're doing or the projects that they're doing are commercially successful or viable. It's really very much more about pushing or allowing the artists to have a voice, to say what they want to say and to do what they want to say, and to move forward in their journeys to get their messages across. So I always say one of the quotes I love most is a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. And I think if we can step out of that zone, and I think with the artists that we work with, and all of us, I think in the way that we approach life, it's when you've come to a point where everything's just too easy, you've got to switch it up, and look for the next thing. So I spend a lot of time, and part of my job entails spending a lot of time visiting artist studios, and I think that's some of the most fun parts of my job. I get inspired when I go to artist studios. I enter their space, it's sacred. We spend hours. I said sometimes I have a studio visit and I spend hours, like an afternoon, 3 or 4 hours, with an artist, just talking about not just their work, but also where they're at in their careers or where they're at in their lives. What's happening on the personal front, or what's been bothering them, or what's inspiring them. And we share a lot of books that we've been reading, or interesting information that has happened in the art world, both locally and on an international platform. And I think it's been about a relationship building, and the artists that I represent and the gallery that we work with are very much a part of the gallery family. We are family. And I remember many years ago, 20 years ago, when we started, I did say to the young artists at that time, I said to them, this is a journey that we're going to grow on together, and we're going to grow all together. And here we are 20 years later, and we are growing old together. So it's interesting how sometimes you say something and then it manifests into reality. So I do believe very much in conviction and in a belief in people and belief in the people that I work with. And I think that is what has driven our journey as a gallery. So as part of our 20th anniversary celebrations as well, we will be highlighting some of the programs that we've decided to put together for the gallery that I think involves more, community building. And the first thing we launched this year was actually WLG Ignite. So WLG Ignite, what does that mean? Ignite means the platform was basically born out of us wanting to present or curate a body of work or selection of works that can encourage new and young collectors to come into the gallery to see works by both established and emerging Malaysian artists and to understand a little bit more about their practice. And this was born out of a program or an exhibition that we did 2 years ago, which was called 100 Pieces Art for All. So basically it's art that's just more accessible, I think, to everybody, so people can come in, understand a little bit more about the artworks and know that everything's priced below 10,000 ringgit. Okay, so that's WLG Ignite. So ignite your imagination, ignite the collector in you, ignite the artist in you, ignite your inspiration. So that's what WLG Ignite stands for. And WLG Ignite is an ongoing program. It's not something that's just happening for 3 months. It's ongoing. So at one point, people can come to the gallery and look at the WLG Ignite section. So another really exciting program that the gallery has put together 3 years ago was the WLG Incubator Art Program. And that really is a program which we put together to identify the next generation of young artists. And I think one of the things we felt was missing was that a lot of young artists didn't have enough mentorship and guidance. And so we've put this program together to allow for young artists, selected young artists, to be mentored by more established artists. Over the course of the last 3 years, we have mentored 5 young artists. The first 2 artists were mentored by Ivan Lam, and the second set of 3 artists were mentored by Anurendra Jegadeva. So it's been a very successful program, which we're very proud of, and it will continue. And so this year we will be announcing our 2 artists coming up. So our 20th anniversary show, a paradigm shift, a reflection on 20 years of the Malaysian art scene. So what does that stand for? So basically we've identified artists that we've worked with over the years, as well as represented artists. You will see only one piece by them, the latest work by them in their practice. However, what people will get to see as well is a chronology of works works by these artists that have been selected over the course of their careers. So you will have access to see works of these artists in the past, to see how they've arrived at this point today. So you get to see a chronology of the works, of these artists' works. So when you when you come to the gallery and you visit the exhibition, it's obviously you get to see the works, you get to understand the particular works you see here, but you also get a glimpse into the past and to understand more about their artists and their journeys. So I hope you will all come visit our 20th anniversary exhibition. I do think it's a pretty seminal show, and people would be able to get a nice sort of overview of where Malaysian art sits today, as well as a look back on 20 years. So thank you so much.